How did I build not one, not two, not three, not four, but 11 different income streams by the age of 19 years old? What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Hayden. I'm 19, I do a lot of fun stuff online, and I'm actually currently in Thailand. A little bit different from the last video you saw where I was in Bali. I'm actually supposed to be in Switzerland right now, but couldn't resist the urge of the islands. I haven't been back here since last year, almost 13 months ago. So what I wanna do in this video real quick is explain exactly what my different income streams are from a primary perspective. There's a lot of different things I do, but one thing I feel like a lot of people online nowadays over portray is, oh my God, I make money 30 different ways and I cut it, this and that. You're gonna see very shortly, within the next 10 to 15 minutes, how what I do almost always relates to itself, okay? The first 1 through 7 are basically the same things, and I'm gonna jump right into this here in a moment, but before we do that, make sure to drop a like down below. And what I'm gonna go ahead and do, if you guys smash over 500 likes, I'm gonna go make a video breaking down how I actually went from 0 to $1 million at 19 years old, okay? I've had a video in my head for quite a while. I mean, I achieved that milestone a little bit before 19. However, I want to really break it down. This is a video that'll take me about a month to create. It'll be wild, okay? So I'd greatly appreciate that like if you want to see something like that. However, on a side note, the beard's coming in nice. We're on day 9, I believe, of a challenge. I'll show you guys some pictures here in a moment. I'll have it thrown up of the little progression. It's been kind of a funny thing. I lost a bet to my buddy. Anyways though, the income streams here, they're actually not all digital. So a lot of people see what I do. You might see me traveling, doing whatever. Yes, a lot of what I do revolves around having location freedom because that's just something I prefer. That's my own choice. However, a lot of what I do and some of the different ways that I can make this money doesn't always have to keep me tied down to one location. That's what's great about, in my opinion, what I do. I don't have to have, a specific desk. I have desks at my house where I can work, but I can also pick that up and sit here on a lawn chair, for an example. I was able to leave school. I was fortunate enough to do that, and in doing so, it took tremendous amounts of focus. Now, I just want to lay this expectation down properly for you guys right here. You cannot, very realistically build something without tremendous amounts of focus on one thing, which means don't get distracted by me telling you I have 11 different main income streams, or someone saying the average millionaire has seven different sources, which may or may not be true. I have no idea how they're tracking exactly that number. Might just be completely ridiculous. However, this is something to me where you have to do one thing. And contrary to someone who is close to me, someone's very close to me, my own mother actually always said, and this is something, a reoccurring theme for 5 years straight, be well-rounded. Do this and do that, don't just focus on one thing, be well-rounded. Yet, when I talk to someone who makes about $20 million a year, which 3 years ago for me was the absolute most amount of money any person I've ever talked to one-on-one ever made, or even, it was wild to me. They told me, you need to get really, really good. He said, I'll cuss on the channel. He said, you need to get good as shit at one thing, okay? And that one thing, he said, it doesn't matter what it is. You get really, really good at one thing. It should be an income producing skill, right? It shouldn't be like getting really good at blowing up floaties or something. It's gotta be something legitimate. But this is a piece of advice that I got from someone who was in a position where at the time I wanted to be in that position, right? My goals and different things have changed, but I saw him as someone who was much higher than me and more so in the direction of where I wanted to go. So naturally I listened to him, right? So one thing that I want to point out before I really get into this is please, please, please don't try and do what I do just because I say I do it, okay? I do a couple different things. That doesn't mean it's the right thing for you. Make your own decision. This is just my own situation, all right? So my first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 different income streams primarily are all my own Shopify stores, okay? These are 2 different brands, now becoming a third. One of them is transitioning into a brand. I'll explain what that is here in a moment. And the other 5, about to be 4 because one of those is going into a brand. The other 4 are just regular stores. Now, some of you might ask, what does this mean? These are Shopify stores. Now, Shopify is a website that allows us to build websites to sell products online. It is a hosting platform. That is how I'm able to work without having a specific location or a job. I don't know if you want to consider it a job. People are like, oh, I hate my 9 to 5. I want to be able to travel and have fun. Well, just keep in mind that I work from 9 to 11. And I don't mean 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I mean 9 a.m. to 11 p.m., okay? It is an all day, every day type of deal. However, if I decide to take the day off, I can have it, right? I don't, but I can. So that's the thing I wanna, portray is that discipline there. However, let me explain the brand thing real quick, because I know it's gonna turn a bunch of heads and a lot of people are curious. Building a brand is something for me where it has a long-term focus. Now, in my opinion, a brand is something where you hold inventory for the product. Your logo is either on the product, the packaging, or both, and you have everything properly set up for your own content, where I have custom content that we've taken ourselves on the different social media. That content is on the websites via photo and videos, as well as our own videos for our ad content. Okay, that's huge. Having a real payment processor approved for that. A lot of these people out here are using Stripe and Shopify payments. I have a real business set up in place because, you know, and I've had this happen once before, I didn't take it, but you know, if someone comes in and wants to offer me $300,000, I've seen offers for $2.6 million for some of my close friends to buy their brands that they're building on Shopify. Well, you now have an actual asset that you can sell. So it's something longer term by having a brand, which means more so just ordering the product yourself, taking custom content, putting a lot of focus on customer support, having a good experience for the people purchasing from this store of yours. You're gonna be able to build something more long-term that gets better ratings and better results, okay? That's gonna help everything overall, both short-term and long-term, all right? It might cost a little bit up front, but you know, that's something for me where I see value, okay? So, that is 1 through 7. Now, a couple of those stores, I do have partners. I have certain friends and certain business partners where we're partnered on certain things. That's besides the point. 1 through 7 is Shopify. What is number 8? 8 out of 11 on this list is a little bit different. Let me throw you a curveball, okay? Number 8 is actually a client of mine who's been a client for almost a year, where they're a legitimate business. Now, this is not an online digital fugazi, whatever. This is a brick and mortar company where I took equity in their business, the whole entire business, and I get paid a check every month from the profits that I generate, not the whole business. However, if the business were to sell, my equity percentage would be calculated in the total business sale, which is great because he is kind of planning on selling eventually, way down the road. However, this is something where my only responsibility inside of here, which I love because this is what I love to do, is advertising. I come up with a marketing game plan and I execute the advertising campaigns. That's it. He has his own people and pays out of his own pocket for, and this is not a bad thing, it's great for both of us because it's what he wanted to do, but he pays for his own photographers. He pays for people to create content, come into his business and really build some great content, which for me as an advertiser and a marketer is perfect. That's all I really need is amazing content, you know, for a really good product and service. Then I can over-deliver with the marketing. So that's been going really well. That's something that pays me a percentage on a monthly basis. It's a really good source of income. That is not necessarily SMMA, social media marketing, which a typical structure you guys might have seen online nowadays is, you know, a company paying you $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month on a retainer in exchange for some sort of service. I have a couple of those too. I've had a couple for quite some time. However, I'm only considering these as main income sources, okay? Where in my opinion, they're making me, you know, the potential to be right around 6 figures a year or more, okay? That's how I'm gonna consider it. So Shopify as a whole, there's a lot of new things I'm working on. The reason that number is pumped up to 7 different stores is because over the last month, I've started like 5 to 6 new ones. Multiple of those, excuse me, are already turned off, okay? They're already turned off, they're closed, they didn't work. That's just part of it. Businesses are going to fail, whether it's brick and mortar or online. So it's something where I just cut the loss, you know, a couple of them I lost like 5, 6 grand, you know what? But I launched them all at once. I put all of my attention on a couple of those while still making sure my other income streams would not fluctuate, right? Because I wanted to get those ones going. My goal right now while I'm traveling, again, I was supposed to be in Switzerland right now, decided to jump to Thailand before I head off to Paris and Monaco and Amsterdam and Canada and whatever. My goal is when I get back to the United States, okay, to my new house that I have waiting there, which I'm super excited about. I'll make a video about that. My goal is to have so many different things in place for the marketing perspective of my Shopify stores and my brands that I can immediately just focus 100% of my attention on that. You know, I really want to keep making videos. I really enjoy making content, so I want to be able to ramp up the content production. So I plan on bringing someone on board in person to really help me focus on that because I need to put my mental and physical energy and attention onto just those stores to capitalize on them as far as possible, okay? So that was 1 through 7 and 8. Now, what is number 9? Number 9 is a little bit of an interesting one here, and I'm gonna throw you a curveball. 9 is where I actually teach people how to do 1 through 7. The reason that's a curveball as well as number 8, a lot of curveball here, is just because none of them relate. They're completely different from each other. However, the core skill inside of there, advertising and marketing, is still present, okay? So for this one, this is where I teach people how I do 1 through 7, which is running at Shopify stores, primarily how to run Facebook ads. That's a skill that I do. I have a team of people, product research, website developers, ooh, there's a bug in my face, as well as content people people. I'm not the one taking photos or videos. I mean, you see this video is not crazy quality. I don't have the best gear. I'm not big and passionate about photography or videos, but I would love to hire someone who is. So that's one thing I focus on. You know, for me, I just teach people a couple of very key skills that help them build that business. And I've been able to build that into a really cool and really fun business that's actually been one of the more fulfilling things that I've ever done in my life. The reason for that, you know, I can sell like pool floaties or whatever on Shopify and a whole bunch of really cool random products, phone cases. Yeah, I guess I don't ever think that feels good. I mean, just protecting someone's iPhone from falling, they never care. I never get a thank you. But you know, when you change someone's life, like I've had multiple students reaching out saying, you know, I'm making 7 figures. I moved my mom out of a trailer park. I took my dad to Las Vegas for his birthday and he's never even left the state we grew up in. Like crazy stuff where like lives have been changed. That for me, I didn't really expect that. I didn't foresee that. So for me, it was a really cool experience to be able to have that. And I'm actually forever grateful for that business because it's changed my life and I love running it, okay? So that is number 9. Number 10, okay, on the list, we only got 2 left inside of here. Number 10 is actually filming videos like this. This is my current smallest stream of income. The reason I wanted to put it on the list is because it is its own primary category, okay? It has nothing to do with the other ones. Now, notice in the beginning what I said about these all somewhat relate together. Now, the training business end of things is partly also built off of YouTube. So YouTube is a part of this, which is interesting. My YouTube income fluctuates anywhere between $500 to $8,500 a month. It just depends. I haven't been focusing a lot of my attention on YouTube recently, so I wouldn't expect if that number is on the low end for quite some time, and it has been. But for me, it's just something extra. I never got into YouTube for the money. I never actually knew I could make this much off of ad revenue, but it's cool. It pays for some villas and a couple of flights, which actually the flights are covered on points from credit cards for ad spend. But you know, it's always a nice little bonus income there. And again, it's not the core source of why I do YouTube in the slightest, but it is a nice bonus income stream from something that I already enjoyed doing. And now number 11, as I chill here in the pool, okay, because it got a little hot out. Number 11 is one where when I tell you what this is, you can't click off the video. You promise me that, okay? Because this one is actually different from what I'm about to say. Affiliate marketing. Now, it's not in the sense that you think of, I have a link in my YouTube description. There is no link for an affiliate offer. There never has been, okay? I do not make money off affiliate marketing that way anymore. That's actually how I started making money online. My first $1,000 to $2,000 a month came from affiliate marketing from a consistent basis. However, the affiliate marketing that I do is indirect, it's unintentional, and it's actually in person. Let me explain. If someone who is a friend of mine who is a business owner wants help with their credit, maybe personal or business. If someone I know who has a Ferrari wants to bring a crazy design to life with like a wrap and new rims and a wing on the back and wants to spend $40,000 modifying their car, if someone I know runs a business and is struggling with the payment processing end of it, invoicing ends of it, you know what? For all 3 of those, I know people who can help them, and it will cost them money. However, I get a kickback and a percentage of that transaction. This is something that happens very typically when you have a lot of friends in business and just honestly referring anyone to anything. When you do good business, you will get a kickback of that. Now, I don't typically ask for it. This is not something where I openly am like, oh yeah, what if I send you this person? They pay you $2,000, how much are you gonna give me? It's not something I worry about, but it actually can stack up to be a very big income stream. So for me, something like that, referring people to different sources and vice versa. I buy things all the time. The person that I actually get help with my personal credit from, as well as all my cars wrapped, you know, like help from that goes to my other friends, you know? I mean, even the people who ask me, like whenever I go to LA, for an example, when I'm in Los Angeles, I get car rentals for free. I could go there and have a free supercar, which is normally over $1,000 a day, for 3 to 4 weeks, based on the amount of free referral points I have stacked up. Because multiple of my friends who make a lot of money and travel have asked me, Hayden, where do you rent your cars? Like I was renting supercars and fun, you know, sports cars and whatever when I was 16 and 17. They asked me, how did you do that? I gave them the referral source and they start renting cars whenever they're in town, and their friends and their friends. Well, now that rental company hooks me up, right? They're taking care of me. So that is something where it's just a business relationship. It's something long-term you're always gonna wanna build. So those are 11 primary and very interesting sources of income. I'm sure there's little ones, there's other things we missed, but I wanted to keep it focused on those primary things. So go ahead, let me know in the comments down below. I'm gonna do my best over the next 3 days as this video is posted to answer any and all questions. All right, don't forget to drop that like. I'm gonna go ahead and make a really sick video talking about how I went from 0 to millionaire by myself after going broke in the beginning with the very small $5 I had to start my businesses, I want to tell that full story and show you guys some crazy stuff actually very shortly. I've been working on that video, so if you want that to come out sometime soon, hopefully in the next month, go ahead and drop a like down below. I would greatly appreciate that. And again, I would love to help you even further. If this video didn't do a good enough job explaining, if you have questions about it, I highly encourage you to ask it. Go ahead and leave it in the comment section down below. There's some kids playing in the street outside the villa, but I'm headed to the beach for dinner. I hope you guys have an amazing day. It's a little bit overcast out here in Thailand, if you guys can see, but nevertheless, always forever grateful. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, if you did, I'd greatly appreciate it if you drop a like down below, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.